Pokemon card market is bouncing back, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the market for the month of August, and we take a look at TCG Player and on eBay to see what's been going on with these booster boxes, because some of these sets have been jumping up massively in value, which is actually quite surprising. We're gonna go and take a look. Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today we are taking a look at the market update for the Pokemon TCG with all the most recent sets. Now I will say some of these sets have actually gone up in value even with reprints, and that's actually quite impressive. We also have some big high climbers in the more lower end of the market as well, because there's been some weaker sets that are actually starting to climb and see some real gain. Quite surprising. So looking at TCG Player and eBay for over here in the UK, give us an idea of what's really been going on in the market and seeing what's worth really picking up. So let's jump into the first one. Alright, first off we are taking a look at Brilliant Stars. Now as we all well know, this is a incredible set. Very strong, great cards in there, great pull rates, and the market is actually pushing this product to become more and more expensive. $142 right now, and that is actually pretty impressive. You can take a look back 6 months, and it was always around that 130 mark, and it's been going up and down and up and down. It's been a little bit more trickier and a little bit more expensive to get hold of Brilliant Stars. Now I do feel like Brilliant Stars is probably going to be the second most expensive Sword and Shield set. We've only got one more set left to come out in the Sword and Shield era, and that's going to be Silver Tempest. But we're going to be taking a look at what's going to happen overall when these sets start to become out of print. Now Brilliant Stars is still in print, so don't expect this not to be reprinted. It will be, and this came out at the beginning of this year. It's going to be, have another release later on this year, probably again next year. So I expect that to kind of keep the prices, once they put it down, keep it at a reasonable rate at the moment. $140 plus though, that is getting a bit pricey. I always say when some booster boxes start hitting that 140 mark, you kind of need of a reprint if they're already kind of due one, and Brilliant Stars is due one, right? One thing I will say with Brilliant Stars is it's also a really great set to open. This is the real good thing about it. Now there's some sets which they're not great to open. The pull rates aren't great, like Evolving Skies for instance. Yes, there's loads of money cards in there. Yes, booster boxes are getting expensive. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But it's not a great set, to really get that pull rate, Whereas Brilliant Stars is, that trainer gallery really does push it that little bit more. And you'll start to see that in a lot of these other sets that have trainer gallery, Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, probably even Silver Tempest. We're going to start seeing those sets that have the trainer gallery really kind of push through and push away and overtake some of the older sets in the Sword and Shield era that don't have that subset. That subset is really key. It makes it more fun to open, and that's definitely one thing to take into consideration, especially with a set like Brilliant Stars. Super stacked set, loads of Charizards, evolutions, fantastic trainer galleries, got the legendary birds in there as well. What more can you want? Over here in the UK on eBay, it has recently been selling for around 120 to 130 a box. Like I say, it is getting pricier now, guys. That's one thing I've noticed when looking at picking up some Brilliant Stars, is these booster boxes are getting more and more expensive. We take a look, this one here sold for 135. So I would say that 130 mark is where Brilliant Stars is now setting. You look at online actual stores, pretty much most of them are sold out. And we could do with another wave. We could do with another reprint. Kind of suppress that value, because the cost of it, what I mean? Because it's getting to the point where it's getting very pricey. It's getting on that Evolving Skies level. So hopefully we might get one soon. Next up we have Fusion Strike. Now this has actually been climbing, as you can see from the chart, guys. It's now reaching $100 now. Pretty much for the longest time we've been saying, this is a great pickup for around $90. It's super cheap. It's going to take a while to climb. It's going to take a while. And last 3 months we take a look, it's actually been pretty good. It's been on the uptick ever since. If we go back 6 months, don't forget guys, this kind of came out at a really awkward time. But I think that a lot of people are starting to appreciate this set. Now don't forget, there are quite a lot of strong playable cards in this set, which will have an impact on the card market anyway. Now when they will cycle out and they're no longer in play, we'll start to see the values of those cards drop. However, there are still some real big hitters in this set, with the Full Art VMAX Espeon and the Gengar really pushing this set as the chase cards. Now this is a big set, which makes it really tough to get those big top end pulls, right? Because there's just so kind of diluted with so many cards that could be found in that particular slot. This makes it very, very difficult to find those big, heavy hitting cards. And in all honesty, right now, I think that is a really important thing to think about when moving forward with Fusion Strike. I really am starting to appreciate this set more and more. Would I say that this is a better set to buy than others? Some others, maybe. You know, I would say it's better than Battle Stars, for instance. But I do feel like there are some others that are just better. From Skies, Brilliant Stars. But I mean, Fusion Strike, for the price that it's at, is not bad. Really cheap to open right now as well. And the artwork's really nice. I do rate Fusion Strike. Overall, it's not a bad set. Over here in the UK, it has been selling for around £100, so it's reaching that £100 mark now. It was selling for around 90 for quite a while, and now we've started to see the uptick in the prices of the booster boxes, kind of like we're seeing over in the US as well. So I do think that is one thing to take into consideration. Is Fusion Strike is a little bit more expensive, 10% more expensive than it was maybe a couple of months ago. But I think we're going to start seeing it go up and up and up. I don't feel like this set's going to be printed anywhere near as much as some of the others, because it wasn't selling on the same scale as some of the other sets. Therefore, they're not going to reprint or print more of a product not already selling as much. So that's one thing to take into consideration with Fusion Strike. Okay, Astral Radiance now. Now, Astral Radiance is still reasonably new set, very cheap right now, although it has been, you know, peaked over $100. It's reached that $100 mark. We go back 6 months, guys, and it's been dropping ever since, but it's sitting around that $100 mark, and I think that's really great. Over here in the UK, it's slightly different, but it has been sitting steady at around $100, and I think it's stronger than Fusion Strike and Battle Stars and sets like that because of the trainer gallery, like Brilliant Stars. It's not as good as Brilliant Stars. I'm going to just go out and say it, it's not. It doesn't have anywhere near as many desirable cards in the set as Brilliant Stars does, but hit rates are great. You know, the trainer gallery is strong, in my opinion, and I also feel like it's just a fun set to open, just like Brilliant Stars. Do I feel like this is going to go the same way as Brilliant Stars? I mean, it will rise, definitely, but I don't feel like it will rise anywhere near as fast or as high as Brilliant Stars will. Like I said, I think Brilliant Stars is going to be the second best set in the Sword and Shield era. But right now, Astral Radiance is really cheap to pick up, and it should not be slept on. Over here in the UK, Astral Radiance has been selling for a little over £90, 90 to £95. See one here, 93, another one here, 95. We scroll further down, we got one here for 93 again, 95. So around that 93, £95 mark for Astral Radiance. Under £100, I think is a really good deal. You can still find it quite easily on a bunch of online stores as well, not just on eBay. So Astral Radiance is quite easy to get hold of. There's going to be more prints of it down the line as well. I think it's a strong one to pick up. I kind of feel like it's one where, you know, if you're looking down for availability and a cheaper option, you know, for especially the long term, Astral Radiance is not a bad shout pick up compared to some of the more harder sets to get, like Evolving Skies or Brilliant Stars. Next we have Chilling Reign, which I still think is one of the most underrated sets or looked over sets in the Sword and Shield era. Fantastic artwork, legendary birds. Now the problem is with this set is the fact is that, you know, when the first printing came out, the card quality was terrible. The pull rates aren't very great either. I would say a lot of the older Sword and Shield era sets, anything before Brilliant Stars, has very tough pull rates. Whether or not that would be Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, Battle Stars, Evolving Skies, Rebel Clash, any of them, very, very tough. Vivid Voltage is a little bit better because you have the amazing rares, but overall they are a little bit worse. Obviously Shining Fates is better because it's a holiday set, Pokemon Go's a bit better, Celebrations are a bit better. Out of the normal standard sets, Chilling Reign, along with the others, quite tough to get those really top end cards, those, you know, alt arts and things like that. And this set has quite a few alt arts. Now booster boxes, $100. It's finally reached that $100 mark, and as you can see, 6 months ago, it has climbed. It's been going up and going up and up. It's been quite steady recently. It has been climbing. And you know what? It's starting to get to that point where it's getting a bit harder to find. There are less products out there of it. I don't know whether or not this is out of print yet, so I'm not going to say if it is or it isn't. But it is starting to be getting a little bit more tricky to find product compared to something like Fusion Strike or Astral Radiance. Will there be any more printings? Maybe. But right now, it's still quite cheap. If you can get one for a good price, I would do so. $100 is actually not a bad price for Chilling Reign booster boxes. Like I say, the single card prices, they've been rising as well. You know, some of the big top end cards like the Galarian Moltres have been climbing. So that's one thing to take into consideration. There are a lot of cards in this set people want for their collections and that are hard to pull. just like Fusion Strike, got those really top end cards, quite tough to pull, really pushes the demand and the desire crack packs to get those awesome cards. Over here in the UK, we had one recently sold here for £98 plus postage, so £100 right there. Scroll further down, 110 that booster box. There was 3 booster boxes for 286. Probably looking around that £100 mark again over here in the UK, and that's about right. I mean, I've been looking at picking up some more Chill and Rain, and they have been sitting around that £95 to £100 mark for some time. Not really climbing that much. It's kind of pretty steady. £100, pretty good price, I think, for Chill and Rain. You know, it's getting a little bit older now. Don't forget, it did come out quite early on last year, so that's one thing to consider for the long haul. Alright guys, before we get into the last set, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content. Let me know down in the comments, what are you more surprised about with the market moving? Have you really been picking up anything? Have you been selling stuff? What are you looking out for? Let me know down in the comments. Alright, let's get into the last set, because I know you've been wanting to see it. Okay, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, and that is Evolving Skies. It is the best set in the Sword and Shield era. Reprints came, kind of. They didn't really do a huge amount to the market, and we can see this in the graph, right? We see that dip. That was after the talk of reprints, because everyone kind of didn't think how big it was going to be. Was it going to be an absolute wave? Was it just going to be little sprinkles? What was it going to be like? And you could see that in the graphs, in the charts right now. Look, if we take a look, it was at 170, then it dropped to as low as 142. That would have been a great pickup. I'm not gonna lie, that would have been a great pickup. We go back 6 months, and it reached a high of 186, and it dropped down to that 144 after the talk. Then we found out that it wasn't really much of a reprint, not enough to really impact it, and it shot back up to that 180 mark. I wouldn't be surprised, in all honesty, by the end of this year, unless we get a miracle big reprint. I kind of doubt it. I would say this will reach $200 by the end of the year. I would be very surprised if it doesn't. I personally, you know, my own thing, I don't want to spend too much money on it. I like opening the set. I know there's some people like, you know, it will go up. You know, if you buy it at 180, well, if it's going to go up to 200 and beyond once it's out of print, surely it's still going to be a gain. And don't get me wrong, it is. I just have certain things, obviously life priorities, stuff like that. Different things I'm willing to spend money on right now. I have a few Evolving Skies, and I'm happy with what I've got with Evolving Skies. If I can get hold of a good deal over here in the UK, then I will. But apart from that, you know, it is a really big set to open and to collect. Those chase cards are real big chase cards. We all know the old Umbreon is the big money card. That card is soon be, or if not on the way to $400. Absolutely incredible. Over here in the UK though, it's a lot less than that. It's like what, £240. It's a lot cheaper. But you know, it's into the point now where it is becoming a very expensive set. Now the most expensive Sword and Shield booster box right now is Sword and Shield base, because it is so old and it is out of print. But Evolving Skies, as soon as it becomes out of print, which will probably be maybe the beginning of next year, we might be seeing these prices really climb. If you can pick up something for less than 180, then, you know, up to you. But personally, I like to hold off and just maybe delve into other sets that I quite like the look of, like Astral Radiance, Fusion Strike, Brilliant Stars. Give some of the other sets a go, because, you know, I've got enough Evolving Skies, and I'm pretty happy with the amount, how many I've got. What's going on over here in the UK? Over here, it's climbing as well. 150, so 145 plus £5 postage. All right, it's from Malta. So let's say 145. That is expensive. Okay. That one here sold for 220. I don't know what was going on there. That's absolutely crazy. We scroll further down. 185, 180, 180, 180, 180. So it's getting really pricey to pick up a booster box of Evolving Skies right now. Like, I wouldn't expect it to be selling at 180. No way. You know, I was like, I wouldn't buy a booster box over here in the UK. You know, I would stay into it less than one, you know, sorry, more than 140. 180, no. I've got what I wanted in Evolving Skies. I'm pretty happy. And, you know, I'll try and get hold of some more box breaks if I can get it at a good price. But it's going to be one of these sets where, unlike Sun and Moon era, it's going to be kind of hard to get and very expensive unless there's going to be a big reprint. But I really don't see it. Hopefully I'm wrong, but it's getting very pricey. So there you have it, guys. That is the August market update. Some climbers, you know, Fusion Strike, Rain, they're climbing. Brilliant Stars is on the rise as well, kind of reaching the levels of what Evolving Skies was before. Evolving Skies obviously is reaching brand new heights. $200 by the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised. Even £200 by the end of the year, which sounds absolutely crazy. I wouldn't even be surprised either, unless there's a reprint. Is there going to be? Hope so. Probably not. You know, we're probably going to be looking at them heavily focusing on things like Brilliant Stars, Astral, Origin, things like that. So I kind of feel like Evolving Skies might actually become very expensive booster box and a very expensive set coming into 2023, but we'll have to see. We'll take a look as we approach Christmas time. And yeah, absolutely crazy. Anyway, guys, that's it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, you guys are legends, and I'll see you all in the next one.